everybody. So this is a new segment I would like to call, well, I haven't thought of a name yet, but whatever the title says, that's what the name is. So usually when I'm driving is when I'm thinking about all this K-pop stuff. So basically, as I drive to my destination, I will just tell you what I'm thinking about a certain topic that is in the title. So today is about Produce 101. So I wanted to wait until Produce 101 was over so that I could just let it all out, okay? I have lots to talk about, the whole season, and who got into 101, the name, everything. So first, I would like to say that this season was definitely the better season out of the two. And I only say that because the first season was like really predictable, and I didn't know it was that predictable until the second season, when every time a new rank came out, I would just be so shocked. I literally like had to take a couple breathers. Like the guy who was in the 90th ranks and then just zoomed all the way up, and then I think his highest rank was in the teens. Like, I was just like, are you kidding me? Is this possible? This did not happen in season 2. Okay, I need everyone to slow down here because I cannot handle this, okay? And also, everyone who's making the top 11, I wasn't really surprised for most of them. But some of them who were making it to the top 11, I was just so proud of them. And for season 1, it was just like the same people in the top 11. So, it wasn't really shocking. I mean, I'm obsessed with the first season, but I am very much obsessed with the second season. So I wanted to talk about, in my opinion, the two smartest people in the whole show, okay, who got into 101. And the first one is Jonghyun, okay? Now he didn't know that he would become famous from a wink, but he really milked it. And then when he felt like it was okay, I should do something else, he did the whole like this thing and then became a hit again. Like, just, he's the smartest person on the show, for real. I don't know how you can just, I mean, like, if you are not used to being famous and then your wink is famous, in my opinion, if that was me, I would just keep winking until my eyeball falls out. Like, seriously, no. But he decided to just do something new, which was a big risk, but he did it and he succeeded. And the whole goo gaga thing that he would do, that didn't really work out that well, but he was already well established, so, you know, he threw that one out. So he's one of the top 2 smartest people on the show, in my opinion. And that's how he was able to stay on top, because obviously season 2 brought so many talented people. It was like talent plus visuals. So for him, I mean, obviously he's like really talented, but there were people who are really known for their talents, you know, like Woojin and Daniel. But him, he was just mostly known for the wink, and then like we found out, oh, he can dance, and then it's like, oh, like I don't really know how his singing is, so I'm just gonna leave that to you guys. But if he did not do those catchphrases, I think that his rank would have dropped lower than just 3. So I think that he gets an A+ in my book. The second person I would say is Ong. Now the whole show, he really wasn't really shown until the end. I mean, like, we saw his audition when he got his A, and then we like saw, you know, when he couldn't keep up with the dance or whatever. But then after that, like for the evaluations, we like didn't really see him ever. He never asked to be center, he never asked to be leader, and the only time that he was leader is because the other members were like, hey, we think you'd be a good leader. He didn't say, hey, you should consider me. No, they basically gave him the leadership role. So he really stayed in the back, really. He really didn't show, like, no one knew that he was hilarious and was great until the end. And I think it is like really smart, because I guess like he was saying, okay, now that the competition's getting more fierce, I need to, you know, I need to start putting myself out there. And he did it at the right time. I mean, like, especially since I think the time when we all were noticing that he was the most hilarious guy ever was when we had to vote for 2 people only. And so he's like, I know I'm in everyone's top 11, but I need to be in everyone's top 2 as well. And so that's when he started to be funny. It's either that or Mnet just decided to be like, hey, let's show Ong some love here. Either way, I give him credit, because I think that if he was funny from the beginning, they would have shown that, like Jisoo. So yes, those are top 2 favorites. Now about the whole controversy of who didn't get in for the last episode, the finale, I was busy the whole weekend, so I couldn't watch the show. So I basically had to cheat, and I just looked at an article about to see who got into 101, and oh my gosh, it was the most shocking thing. Like, okay, this is how my brain was working. So basically, I forgot the article that I saw. Maybe it was from Soompi, but I saw Jonghyun's name first. Okay, so I thought that he was number 11, and I was like, oh my god, he got number 11. Like, oh my gosh, Nation's leader. Like, wow, he really dropped a lot, man. That must have been so close. Like, especially since they do number 11 last. Like, oh my gosh, that must have been such a twist. Just like how it was for Lai Guanlin, however you pronounce his name. Just like it was for him, which was a big shock. I really hated that episode the most. It was just too much for my heart, okay? Just how he got 20th place and everyone was freaking out because he almost didn't get in. It was the same. I was like, oh man, it's just like that. Oh man, Nation's leader got like the last spot. So then I'm scrolling and I see Donghyun. I'm like, okay, he made it. And then I see Sunho and I'm like, wow, he made it too. Like, wow, that's really great. And then I see Ha Sungwoon, and it says number 11, but it's like huge because he's like actually in the group. And I was like, oh, he got in the group, he got number 11. And I was like, wait, I thought Jonghyun got number 11. And then I looked and it said 14. And I was like, oh, no, are you kidding me? 14, he didn't make it in. And I literally, that was my expression. Like I was just so shocked. Like, you have got to be kidding me. This is crazy. And so I was like, oh my god, who's next? But then, okay, I was in the car, like, so I had to keep driving. So I told my brother, who does not watch the show, he's like 14, and I said, okay, please read to me the names who got in order. And so he was telling me and everything. You know, when I heard Ong's name, I was like, yeah, you know, like freaking out and stuff. And you know, when I heard others' name, I was like, oh great, he got in one. That's great, that's really great. And so then it was like, you know, he was going down the list, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. And so by 4, you know, I was expecting to hear Daniel's name, Jihoon's name, and Samuel's name, and Daehui's name. I was pretty sure he was going to get it. So it said 4 was, you know, the main vocal, and I was like, somebody didn't get in, and I was just like, wait, who didn't get in? Oh my gosh, he didn't get in. And so then he said 3, it was Daehui, and I was like, because I'm waiting to hear Samuel's name, okay? And he's like, number 2, Jonghyun, and I'm like, okay, so either my number 1, Daniel, didn't get in, or my number 2, Samuel, didn't get in. So I said, who's number 1? And he said Daniel. And so I screamed for joy because Daniel's my number 1. But then I was just like, but Samuel, I was like, Samuel and Jonghyun didn't get in. Oh my god. And that's literally my face, like, oh my gosh, they didn't get in. Oh my gosh. And so I was like, oh my gosh, I know it's crazy online, and it was, okay, and everyone was pissed. And the thing that I had a problem with was everyone was blaming the Korean netizen, the Korean voters, and obviously yes, it is their fault, but I know that they purposely did not vote for him. I mean, I know that they didn't vote for him because they didn't want him to be in it. Because first of all, they nicknamed him Nation's Leader. Why would international fans nickname him Nation's Leader? Wouldn't the nation, Korea, nickname him Nation's Leader? So I'm pretty sure there's a reason they didn't vote for him. And I think it's because they thought he would get in, so they were trying to save other people. Like Lai Guan-Lin, who got number 20. And they thought maybe, I don't know, Samuel, man, he was a bit iffy because only, like, I feel like if he's way more popular internationally. So it was like a toss-up because he was really only in the top 11 for like 3 episodes. So that wasn't like a huge shock, which is a disappointment. But I think that no one voted for, well, not no one, but many people didn't vote for Jonghyun because they just assumed, oh, like, he's Nation's Leader. Let's vote for someone else. And it backfired. And I know that they're mad too, you know, because he can't be Nation's Leader if he's not in the group. So, I know everyone's just like, oh my gosh. And then people are like, oh, I'm not gonna, like, this group is a flop. I'm not gonna like 101. Like, I'm not listening to them. Like, yes, you are. You watched the whole season, and you're telling me you're not gonna listen to one song? You're not even curious? Huh? You're not curious? Okay. We'll see about that. I'm gonna listen to them because I spent, how many hours? Each episode was 2 hours. I spent 4 hours a week because I watched each episode twice over this show. I am going to watch I'm going to watch every music video. I'm downloading every song. I put my time. I sacrifice phone calls with my boyfriend and time with my boyfriend to watch Producer 101, and he knows that. I say, okay, I know that you miss me and you've had a long day and you want to talk to me, but a new episode of Producer 101 came out, so can I call you later? And you know, he understood, okay, because that's what your boyfriends do. They understand when you have an obsession, okay? So I am definitely not giving up on them because Jonghyun and Samuel didn't get in. You know why? Because Daniel is still in the group, and Ong is still in the group, and Woojin is still in the group, and Ha Sung-won is still in the group, and Kim Jae-hwan is still in the group, and Lai Guan-Lin is still in the group, and everyone that I didn't name is still in the group. What is this car doing? Okay. So I'm gonna watch them because I still love everyone else in the group. And when I found out that Ha Sung-won got into the group, I was like, whoa, that is amazing, because I actually was rooting for him the whole time, but because I didn't really think he was gonna get in, I was just kind of like a backseat rooter, like, go Ha Sung-won, like, go, you go. I want to see how far you get, and he got in the group. I was just like, wow. I was so happy he got in because really, like, he has so much talent, and I felt like people were just sleeping on him for other people, which is understandable, but still, come on, look at him. So I'm actually really glad he's in the group. And plus, Jonghyun's already in a group, okay? And like, that's the thing. I didn't root for any newest member at all, like the whole show. No, I grew to love Newest a lot because I was there when Newest debuted with Face, and it was a big hit, a huge hit, and I was just like, why is everyone so obsessed with this group? Like, I wasn't getting it, and I never got it until they came with Produce 101, and I freaking love Newest, but they came in the show to gain recognition because they didn't have any recognition, and they succeeded. So why don't you just not vote for them and then let them make a comeback and then prove to Pledis that they deserve more albums? Because didn't Jonghyun say in the beginning that he was afraid he felt bad asking for more albums when no one will buy their albums, and now their old albums are #1? Like, hello. So I was just like, if I could talk to every Korean person, I would say don't vote for Newest. Don't vote for them so they can come back as Newest. Because now look, Minhyun is stuck in the group by himself, and he can't leave for 2 years. So I'm pretty sure that was not the plan, because nobody knew it was going to be 2 years until halfway through the season, which I think was also dumb. I don't know why Mnet started making up all these dumb rules like, only 20 people can get in this time. Oh, it's 2 years this time. Oh, like, when? Shouldn't you make up all the rules in the beginning? What are you doing, Mnet? What are you doing? But yes, overall, I think it was a great season. They had great songs. I loved way more songs than I did than the season 1. Okay, like, sorry, I do not like Yum Yum. But okay, how come My Lane is the only one that stopped? Okay, here we go. All right, just go. All right. I think the songs were better. I think the finale songs were so much better. I mean, like, oh my gosh. So I just cannot wait until they actually get their own songs. I know they're going to be great. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, they don't match well. Well, you know what I mean? Like, how do you know? I mean, you know each person, like, individually. Like, usually, like GOT7. I'm just naming them because they're the first people who came to my mind. If they, all those 7 people came to you and say wanted to be in a group, and you knew each one of them individually, like we know the Produce 101 members, would you say they belong in a group together? Do they match? No. Because if you think about it, they all have different personalities, but they are fantastic together, and I'm obsessed with GOT7. And it's going to be the same with 101, and it's the same with every group. Every group I can think of, like VIX, okay? Leo and Ken and N. Completely different personalities, okay? But do they match well? Yes. Okay, you know why? Because they're VIX. You know 101's gonna match well? Because they're 101. 101. Okay, so that is all I have to say. I know this video was super long. I hope I wasn't rambling that much, and I hope that you agree with what I said. And if not, let me know. I mean, don't call me like names and stuff, but I would like to have a nice convo about this because Produce 101 is over, and what else am I gonna do? Wait a whole year? No. So please talk to me. I will respond because, like, I'm having withdrawals. When Friday comes and there's no new Produce 101 episode, I literally, like, don't know what I'm gonna do because I'm just so used to it. I'm just used to my boys being on the show. Now, thanks for listening. If you're still here, thank you. Okay. I know that I was rambling, but you stayed to the end, and now I'm done. So I hope that you have a fantastic rest of your time without the Produce 101 boys. And if you need a shoulder to cry on, just message me and I will give you a tissue. Okay? That's all I can do. Okay. Goodbye.